Postseason bound 1 year ago, but with only 4 teams making it out of the West, the Skyforce finishing 5th, the Spurs currently in 6th, both wind up on the outside looking in. Lincoln Rose with you here in Cedar Park, Texas, inside the H-E-B Center, and the opening 2 points for the Skyforce belong to the young man who is on assignment from the Denver Nuggets, Malik Beasley, the former standout for the Florida State Seminoles, averaging about 19 points a ball game. We'll get you the starting lineups as this opening of the night, agreeing to wear the home whites one final time here on the road. Of course, they call the Sanford Pentagon home. A fantastic facility up there in Sioux Falls. And a nice on for the Skyforce. The most recent 3 points from Patrick Miller. Miller averaging 16 points a ball game. Started 24 of the last 25 games for Sioux Falls. Averaging 7 assists during that span. Orlando Johnson wrapping up his second go-round with the Austin Spurs. Played overseas much of this season before rejoining the group here in Central Texas. Of course, last year had some NBA Gatorade call-ups. And already some good humor just outside of your shop between Ken McDonald and our officiating crew. It's the final game. Time to make some summer friends. Our officiating crew. It's the final game. Time to make some summer friends. See if they'll sign each other's yearbook when it's all over. Paulo brings the ball up the floor, tries to slip it into an extra gear. Kick out to the wings. Skyforce up by a pair. Everybody has touched it on this possession. It winds up out of the right hand of... Everybody has touched it on this possession. It winds up out of the right hand of Greg Whittington, the former Georgetown Hoya, but off the mark. Chance for Austin to pull even or take a lead, and we've got contact at the top of the perimeter. Paulo are your starting 5 for the Skyforce in this season finale. A little 16-footer straight away. Benson, his first 2 points for the 6'11 product out of Oakland. That's Oakland up there in Michigan. Had a 31st double-double the other night on Tuesday against the Iowa. And Jean-Charles pulls it back within 2. Beasley, quick trigger, nails it. Orlando nails it. Orlando Johnson did not have a chance to close as Beasley collected and fired for 3 more. Early 5-point lead for Sioux Falls. Quick response. Thompson and Georgetown Hoya in his own right. Nice screen, straight away, shot won't fall for Miller. One and done are the Skyforce getting back on defense. Hollis Thompson was another piece of this puzzle for the Austin Spurs that joined the mid-season after the new year. This was after he was cut by the 76ers. And acquired off waivers by Windy City. Never suited up for the Bulls D-League franchise, as the Austin Spurs traded Jarrell Eddy for him back in January. He has had that 1 10-day deal with New Orleans last month. Inside, Jean-Charles will contest, and let's see. We'll mention a conversation Malik Beasley just had with the scores table here on the near side. Very relevant. And I'll let you know that players are watching their stats. Shot well. And I'll let you know that players are watching their stats. Shot well off the mark. Skyforce up by 4. Extra pass, good look from the corner. Well off the mark from Miller. Skyforce up by 4. Extra pass, good look from the corner. Well off the mark from Miller. So I mentioned Beasley talked to the table on the near side. He was looking up at the ribbon that's around the arena that gives the 2 team scores and individual player fouls. And right now, the Spurs are coming off a game, their last home contest, against just a token representation of the talent here in Central Texas. He has been a solid contributor, at times scoring in excess of 20 points for the Silver and Black. Johnson, little power dribble, swatted from behind. Black. Johnson, a little power dribble, swatted from behind. And here come the other way, Whittington. Lob over the head of Whittington. Beasley, no look inside, little step back, and a nice. Back underway as Jeff Ledbetter will bring the ball up the floor for the Austin Spurs in this regular season finale for both Austin and Sioux Falls. Neither of them headed to the postseason this year. That means we'll have a new champion in the D-League this year, of course, Southwest Division. Los Angeles, Santa Cruz, Oklahoma City, and Rio Grande Valley are your 4 teams out of the West in the postseason this year. Skyforce will finish 5th in the Grand Valley are your 4 teams out of the West in the postseason this year. Skyforce will finish 5th in the West, and the Spurs right now are tied for 6th coming into today. Spurs 1 game better than 500. Thompson, a little mid-range baseline jumper won't go. The rebound game better than 500. Thompson, a little mid-range baseline jumper won't go. The rebound down to Beasley. Beasley averaging 7.5 rebounds per contest. Whittington puts his shoulder down and will kick it out. Matched up with Garino. I think Ken McDonald wanted a carry. Whittington will wind up getting a close look about a couple feet out, drops it in. Midway through this opening quarter, just a 2-possession ball game. But Sioux Falls has led since the opening score. Charles Garcia's first 2 points off of the bench. Charles this year has been brilliant, almost 14 points a ball this season. However, here in the new year, more often than not, has been scoring about 20 points an outing. Garino. Pato with the 3. This time a year ago was gearing up for the Summer Olympics to be a teammate of Manu Ginobili. He is still in the mix, 10 to shoot. Goes baseline, gets a close look, has it swatted away. Thompson may have gotten away with a walk, has his pocket picked, and a scrum on the floor. Thompson will be called for the foul. Austin for the University of Texas has been on the roster this season, but for the most part inactive. As a young man was adopted by the family of R.C. Buford in San Antonio. Of course, the general manager of the San Antonio Spurs. So, Valele, Garcia, Juan Mini, McCamey, and Ledbetter. 5 players off the bench on the court right now for the Spurs, trailing by 7. One and done that last trip down. Beasley out to Miller. Extra kick to Whittington. Got it. Not. And for Whittington, 5 points now here in the opening quarter. Ledbetter, step behind the arc. Would have been better off with. Ledbetter, step behind the arc. Would have been better off with his toe right in front of the line. Beasley somehow able to get points ball game, averaging 5 rebounds per contest. And Charles easily could have been a starter this year. A great boost off the bench. McCamey, the Illinois product from the Chicago area. Went to St. Joseph's, same high school as the original Isaiah Thomas, and of course, one of the schools to Schertz, Texas, just north of San Antonio, and raised his 2 boys who are both playing Division I basketball over in Houston. Oh, denied slam going out. Juan Mini, who picks up. Valele, the veteran. When I say veteran, not just experienced player, but 2 tours overseas with the Air Force. Garcia. Experienced player, but 2 tours overseas with the Air Force. Garcia. 3 minutes to go here in this opening quarter. Paulo won't go, and that was one Sioux Falls player out-rebounding three. 3 minutes to go here in this opening quarter. Paulo won't go, and that was one Sioux Falls player out-rebounding three. 3 minutes to go here in this opening quarter. Paulo won't go, and that was one Sioux Falls player out-rebounding three. One Sioux Falls player out-rebounding three Spurs. Benson padding his box score stats with the rebounds, then finally the finish. Jean-Charles matched up with Whittington. And nice work by Livio. Miller able to draw in the defense, the kick out. Paulo slips, able to get rid of it before the travel. Benson from the left elbow, no. The kick out. Paulo slips, able to get rid of it before the travel. Benson from the left elbow, no. Chance to cut back within single digits. Austin. Chance to cut back within single digits. Austin Spurs still trail by 11. Quick release from Whittington. The 6'9" former Hoya. One of three Georgetown products in this ball game today, along with Hollis Thompson for products in this ball game today, along with Hollis Thompson for Austin and Jabril Trawick on the Skyforce. Whittington with 6 of his 8 points coming from downtown. Paulo. And just like that, it's become a 17-point lead for Sioux Falls. Ledbetter to Garcia. 10 to shoot. Chuck looking for the closer opportunity. Kicks out to Ledbetter. It's a three. With the exception of your lone starter, Livio Jean-Charles in the ball game. Spurs are wearing the gray uniforms here at home today. So the Skyforce wearing their home whites on the road. Done from downtown and out in the suburbs. This time up close with the easy two. Olele handoff, Ledbetter, quick release. Won't go. And Garcia with the offensive rebound out to Ryan Archidiacono, who's back. Olele handoff, Ledbetter, quick release. Won't go. And Garcia with the offensive rebound out to Ryan Archidiacono, who's back in the ball game. Ryan shot just off the mark. Offensive rebound out to Ryan Archidiacono, who's back in the ball game. Ryan shot just off the mark. Who touched it last? This is back over to Willett beyond the arc. Skyforce 5 of 8 coming out of that timeout. And their head coach, Nevada Smith. Ken McDonald at the helm of the Austin Spurs for a 4th straight year. Final 6 seconds, Ledbetter. Oh, was bumped off the mark. Final 6 seconds, Ledbetter. Oh, was bumped off the mark. And now the other way, Paulo to beat the clock, no! Orlando Johnson. Greg Whittington's your leading scorer entering the second quarter. 10 points for the standout for the Skyforce, including 2 of 3 from downtown. Spurs led by 5 points from Orlando Johnson, who, well, again, hidden stats with the block at the end of the. And 1 of 2. 15-point lead for Sioux Falls. 1 and done. 15-point lead for Sioux Falls. 1 and done. Seven points off the bench today for the Austin Spurs. 3 from Ledbetter, 4 for Garcia. 7 points off the bench today for the Austin Spurs. 3 from Ledbetter, 4 for Garcia. As Johnson picks up 2 more for the starting 5. Pato did not want to foul as Johnson picks up 2 more for the starting 5. Pato did not want to foul, didn't have to. Rebound down to Jean-Charles. Ryan Archidiacono playing a little bit later into the year than his Villanova Wildcats. By the way, it will not be a couple of national championship games, both featuring South Carolina. The South Carolina men and Frank Martin are held off at the end by Gonzaga, who will be playing in the final game of the collegiate men's season on Monday night. So congratulations to Gonzaga. Of course, it was Ryan Archidiacono. So congratulations to Gonzaga. Of course, it was Ryan Archidiacono and Chris Jenkins for Villanova playing in that final game of the year last year. Championship. And another nice look. This time it's from Ike Wamu. His first points. A 16-point lead with a lot of time to go here in the opening half. Jean-Charles. 6 points for Livio in tonight's start. Beasley with a little twist goes. Will make Beasley your leading scorer early on, competing with his own teammate Greg Whittington. 11 for Beasley, 10 for Whittington. We'll hand off to Thompson. Denies Archidiacono the assist. Whittington. We'll hand off to Thompson. Denies Archidiacono the assist this time. Mosley tries to mix it up with Archidiacono, able to shake free for the shot on the baseline, won't go, rebounded. Mosley tries to mix it up with Archidiacono, able to shake free for the shot on the baseline, won't go, rebounded Johnson. Orlando on Wamu, a foul on Schwab. Another look for 3. This one off the mark, rebounded Johnson. Another look for 3. This one off the mark, rebounded Johnson. Oh, spin from Orlando. Forget Disney World, a pretty good show on display here in Cedar Park. A spin on the other end, and have a dedicated team to find any of the existing 22 teams and try to make it a good fit. It has allowed Austin the past couple years to receive players from New Orleans and Atlanta, where they have some former members of the Greg Popovich tree. Garcia got the defender off of his feet. He really came back after midway in February. In fact, today, even though it's cloudy, it's 73 degrees. We've been in the mid-80s for the past couple of weeks here in Central Texas. I was in Sioux Falls a week ago for that Division II basketball tournament, and I know it was a perfectly pleasant 40-something degrees after being up there in December for the national championship for Division II volleyball when it was -9 wind chill. Drew, plenty of space, will give it up to Benson at the free throw line. Couple steps inside to get it. Back underway here in quarter number 2. Lincoln Rose, David Christopher with you here. One final broadcast from the HEB Center this year for NBA D-League basketball. Again, next year will be one final broadcast from the HEB Center this year for NBA D-League basketball. Again, next year will be the NBA Gatorade League, as announced a month back. Baseline fadeaway, able to ultimately. There's 2 more points for Larry Drew And the Skyforce for Drew, his first pair. Garino didn't like the look for three. Now everybody but Garcia has touched it. Johnson pulls the trigger, in and out. Garino didn't like the look for three. Now everybody but Garcia has touched it. Johnson pulls the trigger, in and out. Sioux Falls still shooting 58%. Spurs right at 50%. Spurs are 4 of 7 from beyond the arc. Skyforce 7 of 12. And a nice move, just could not get 7 of 12. And a nice move, just could not get the finish when it's all said and done for Trawick. A foul the other way. Johnson. So the silver and black today, the gray and red. And again, it also has Sioux Falls wearing the home white uniforms despite being fairly far from home. Whether it be a connecting home white uniforms despite being fairly far from home. Whether it be a connecting flight in Denver or Chicago. Maybe Minneapolis. Garino whips one into Johnson, too hot to handle. Maybe Minneapolis. Garino whips one into Johnson, too hot to handle. Trawick the other way. Again, this lead stays at 16, unable to stretch it, but Beasley will add 2 more. Again, this lead stays at 16, unable to stretch it, but Beasley will add 2 more. Offensive putback, second chance points, courtesy of Beasley. Again, the former Florida State Seminole. Pull them right back. Ledbetter, the former Idaho Vandal. Oh, great no-look dish. Johnson gets in the way of a dunk, perhaps. Johnson gets in the way of a dunk, perhaps, on the finish. But Keith Benson, patient, still able to add 2 more to his resume. He has 10. Third Skyforce starter in double figures, and Ledbetter blows right past 2 defenders for the left-handed finish of his own. And here we are again with a 16-point ball game. Spurs need stops. Trawick needed a quicker pass, but still has the open look. Trawick needed a quicker pass, but still has the open look. McCamey running this offense right now. Mid-range jumper from Sean Charles. San Antonio has some talent from Argentina and France, so does Austin. With Garino and Jean Charles respectively. Trawick for 3. Rebound and Jean Charles respectively. Trawick for 3. Rebound by Pato. McCamey splits defenders, pass to third, and it won't go. And Trawick is able. McCamey splits defenders, pass to third, and it won't go. And Trawick is able to outmuscle Jean Charles for the rebound. Posey picked up by McCamey at midcourt. And that's, kids, cover your eyes if you're learning how to. 4.5 to go here in this opening half. Another great crowd here north of the capital city inside the HEB Center. Garino full speed ahead, up off the window. Capital City inside the HEB Center. Garino full speed ahead, up off the window, and couldn't find the angle. Beasley make it Benson with the rebound. Here's Beasley with the ball. Lobbed inside, and Jean Charles too up with Benson when he can catch the ball that far into the post. Again, Benson this year averaging a double-double, 20 points, 10 rebounds a contest. And Jeff Ledbetter, again, he had to pay to try out. You'd like to think he's gotten his money back. And giving the Spurs their money's worth. Livio to money back. And giving the Spurs their money's worth. Livio denies. No numbers advantage the other way, and Pato will have the ball stripped away. And Pato gets it right back. As nobody able to catch up with Orlando Johnson. As you just saw him there on the replay with 2 of his 14 points for the team high. Game high belongs to Malik Beasley right now. 16 points in this first half effort. Skyforce have led by as many as 18. This will push from Benson. He has 14. Ledbetter. And Ledbetter. And some sighs of disappointment from the fans. Oh, a bullet pass, just a little low. But how about that recovery by Boo Boo Paulo? Able to shake himself free, a little kiss off the glass, and it's back to the 16-point advantage for the Skyforce. John Charles has it poked away. Point advantage for the Skyforce. John Charles has it poked away. Here's Paulo looking to share. Whittington's been quiet as of late. His teammates have picked up the slack. And Whittington with 10 points was the first player in double figures. He's 1 of 5 now in this ball game. Late dish, and that's goaltending. And that would not have been allowed. McCamey makes it look easy. Not a lot of offensive rebounds in this ball game, just 3 between the 2 teams. You either make it or you're back on defense for the most part. Right on cue. You either make it or you're back on defense for the most part. Right on cue. Ledbetter between defenders. Ledbetter now has a dozen here in the first half. Again, Jeff, been a great addition this year for Austin, averaging 9 points overall for the season, but has upped his game the past couple of months. Whittington had it stripped away. No walk points overall for the season, but has upped his game the past couple of months. Whittington had it stripped away. No walk involved. And here come the Spurs looking to close out the opening half on a run. Lele, no look dish, back to Ledbetter. Off the front iron. Lele, no look dish, back to Ledbetter. Off the front iron. And Whittington's going to slow it down for a moment. Beasley on Ledbetter. And Whittington's going to slow it down for a moment. Beasley on Ledbetter. And it's Arcidiacono with the rebound. Oh, Ryan makes the handoff, the reverse. A nice little move from Arch. Loves to get his teammates involved that time. Comes away with the punctuation on his own. And a little floater. Rare offensive rebound, and now it's involved that time. Comes away with the punctuation on his own. And a little floater. Rare offensive rebound, and now 13-point ball game, back within 11. Jeff Ledbetter stepping up his game here in the final minutes. 30 seconds to go till halftime. Paulo will slow it down. Can't hold for the final shot just yet. As you see the difference in the 2 clocks. Paulo around Ledbetter, who did not want to commit the foul, and again, and to guarantee yet another winning season here in Central Texas. Ryan Arcidiacono with the dribble to start the second half. Garino off the mark with the dribble to start the second half. Garino off the mark, and again, no second chance opportunity. Here's Beasley, who had the brilliant first half. He'll dish it to Benson. The brilliant first half. He'll dish it to Benson. Keith Benson now will match Beasley with 18 points apiece. That's the 5th dime for Malik Beasley. Thompson, the high arcing three. He had no choice to scrape the rafters with that one. Here's Whittington. Had a fast start to the first half off the... Garino almost able to run Beasley off the dribble there. We saw Skyforce with similar defense in the first half at times. They say shot was out of the hand in time. Well, Nevada Smith knows that a 10-point lead is far from safe here in the NBA D-League in the second half. We've seen 30-point leads disappear. Into Garino. Oh, and Pato Garino getting to play alongside one another one more time. And the ball will wind up with Thompson. Up ahead. Johnson, not all season. His biggest opposition looked like it was coming from his own teammate in Livio. Pocket. Pocket picked. Chance to cut the deficit down to perhaps one score. They'll settle for two. Beasley off the mark, coaching their final game of the regular season. Ken McDonald's given the Austin Spurs a great deal of consistency. Obviously wins and losses so important, but the name implies it. NBA Development League, the development of on the Skyforce. Modest press, and now the Spurs will back off. Miller and the Skyforce, their lead is down to 2. Whittington back on track. First 3 points of the second half from Whittington. A baker's dozen now for the ball game. Inside to Pato. Inside to Pato. Oh, Argentina flight 25 cleared for takeoff. Get the 2 points right back with a mid-range jumper from Miller. Jean-Charles, a long two. Beasley with the rebound. Jean-Charles, a long two. Beasley with the rebound. Beasley challenges Livio. 2 more for the Denver Nugget. And just like that, it's gone from a 2-point ball game back to 7. And Thompson well off the mark. And just like that, it's gone from a 2-point ball game back to 7. And Thompson well off the mark. Up ahead to Miller. 9-point lead for second personal, third on the visitors from South Dakota. Archdiacono. Miller was never going to pick, figured why not. Adds 3 to his resume. 5 points now on the ball game for the Spurs point guard. Oh, speed burst around the corner from Paulo. Offensive rebound for Whittington, the Spurs point guard. Oh, speed burst around the corner from Paulo. Offensive rebound for Whittington. Miller will give it a try. Able to fire it through past Garcia. Patrick Miller with 2 more. Now a dozen in his final game this year. And that's an up and down on Garcia. All the way down to 2 briefly. Chance to expand it back to double digits here. It was 11 at halftime. Paulo. And 14 to shoot on the new shot clock. Oh, well, Lele had the to shoot on the new shot clock. Oh, well, Lele had the right idea. Garcia just not ready for it. Up ahead, Miller lobs, and Beasley thought better of it. Wants a better look at it. And a little hook. 10-point ball game for Sioux Falls. Back on defense midway through here in the third quarter. Spurs had cut it all the way within 2, the closest this had been since it was a 2-0 ball game. And Garcia is going to go to the free throw. And Garcia makes 1 of 2. Austin Spurs now 7 of 11 from the free throw line. Garcia 4 of 6, 11 from the free throw line. Garcia 4 of 6. Trawick face a double team. And Whittington 1 for 2 here. Trawick face a double team. And Whittington 1 for 2 here in the second half from beyond the arc. McCamey to Alele. And Whittington 1 for 2 here in the second half from beyond the arc. McCamey to Alele. And Dan looked ahead before he ever actually collected that ball cleanly. Above the rim to Beasley. Scored the Skyforce in the second quarter, 34-29. We are even 17 apiece here in the third frame, and we're back to the 11-point advantage for Sioux Falls that the Skyforce held at halftime. Ledbetter out to Alele. Skyforce still 2 turnovers in the first half, 2 here in the second half. That's only led to 4 Spurs points, while Spurs have had 12 turnovers, leading to 21 points for the visitors. Trawick. And you'll take that every time you can get it. A baker's dozen, the advantage. Skyforce led by as many as 18 in the first half. Thompson matched up with Whittington from the elbow. Good. Whittington with that wingspan, able to keep the opportunity alive. Whittington with that wingspan, able to keep the opportunity alive. They're 0 for 2. Lob into Garcia. And Chuck had it stripped away. The follow-up won't go. Whittington with the rebound. Lob into Garcia. And Chuck had it stripped away. The follow-up won't go. Whittington with the rebound. Garcia frustrated. Will be the last man back in your picture. Trawick to Paulo. Left his feet. Bailed out by Whittington. Straight away, Beasley. Both teams. Trawick to Paulo. Left his feet. Bailed out by Whittington. Straight away, Beasley. Both teams empty-handed the last couple of trips. McCamey, thanks to the screen of Garcia, gets a quality look. McCamey, thanks to the screen of Garcia, gets a quality look. Paulo straight away, nails it. Signed 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Regular season finale, and that means the finale for these two teams. Sioux Falls was 1 spot shy of making it into the higher scoring affair than the college game. Ultimately, it does not cost you much. Whittington, his second triple, 4th for the ball game. 16 points for number 0. And here we are with a 16-point ball game once again for the visiting side. Oh, Ledbetter able to draw the foul. That 2 for 2. 18 points for Ledbetter, and here's a press from Austin. They'll back off now. Trawick across the timeline. Goes straight to the rim. makes him 4 points for the ball game. Make it 6 points for the ball game. '80th point is on the board. Paulo the kick out, Whittington. Garcia got the rebound and Beasley flying through the air. Paulo the kick out, Whittington. Garcia got the rebound and Beasley flying through the air. Sioux Falls had built the lead back to 17 a moment ago. Great rotation, open look, nothing of Drew. That is his first successful three-pointer here today. He becomes the 6th different Skyforce scorer to connect from downtown. Garcia, quick spin on Whittington, and the foul will send him to the line. Garcia has not been able to make Sioux Falls pay for the fouls as of late. 90 seconds to go here in this third quarter. An 11-point ball game at halftime. Trawick and company stretching it now to 19. Biggest discrepancy we have seen here tonight. And Jean-Charles will go to the free throw line. Trying to get a lane violation, doesn't need it. Had a hyphen in his last name and had a pause in his delivery. Whipped into Beasley, 1-on-2. Goes straight up, won't fall. Archidiakono with the rebound. Whipped into Beasley, 1-on-2. Goes straight up, won't fall. Archidiakono with the rebound. Inside a minute to go here in this third quarter. The Spurs had trend this to a 2-point ball game. Sioux Falls has reestablished, and now as we get closer to the final period of play on the regular season for both of these teams. One for two for Paulo at the line that time. Jean-Charles drives. Oh, Jean-Charles drives. Oh, talk about the stride of Livio Jean-Charles. I think that was 2 steps from the arc to the rim. And that's not how you draw it up. But in the end, Paulo cannot make them to the rim. And that's not how you draw it up. But in the end, Paulo cannot make them pay. Austin should be able to hold for the final shot. They were caught hanging on to the ball too long. The last chance they had to beat the buzzer. See if they can get it off before that window lights up here in the third. Trailed by 19 a moment ago, down by a baker's dozen. Baker's dozen, back within the halftime deficit of 11. From 3/4 court, just off the money. His brother had been a Davidson Wildcat. Final 12 minutes of the regular season for these two teams. No postseason this year. Spurs looking for no postseason this year. Spurs looking for their 3rd straight winning season, or 25-24 this year, would need a win today. Pato blowing straight to the rim, right past a pair of defenders. On the other end, Trawick is able to draw the foul. Carino able to shake free from Drew. Carino able to shake free from Drew. Pato has 13. Wamu off balance, finds the side of the backboard. Wamu off balance, finds the side of the backboard. Archidiakono's all alone, waits for his teammates. Back out to Ryan. Great pass from Garino. A shot just off the, waits for his teammates. Back out to Ryan. Great pass from Garino. A shot just off the mark. Oh, by the way, it's a single-digit deficit for Austin. Defense looking for a big stop here. You talk about the way that third quarter ended. Remember, Austin had trimmed it down to 2, only to see it grow to a new discrepancy of 19, and then pull back within 11 before the start of the game. Drew forgot the point ball game. Spurs denied the chance to shoot the free throws. Take a team foul off. And Trawick, you take off the personal foul. Lob into Johnson. And they'll say that one's poked away cleanly. Foul. Lob into Johnson. And they'll say that one's poked away cleanly. Drew, open space, held the pose, and it finally went in. And Jean-Charles, great chance to extend this opportunity, and they do. 2 more this time from Benson. A dozen points separate these two teams with 9.5 minutes to go in regulation. And Johnson for a third. The ball come loose. And 3 straight times, they say, cleanly stripped away by Sioux Falls. Long 2 for Miller, no. Long 2 for Miller, no. Ledbetter with just enough interference from Jean-Charles. Ledbetter has the Spurs back within 9. Miller to the wrong team. Back within 9. Miller to the wrong team. Sometimes a no-look pass would be better off looking. Miller to the wrong team. Sometimes a no-look pass would be better off looking. Spurs give it right back. Trawick on Garino. And Garino pass would be better off looking. Spurs give it right back. Trawick on Garino. And Garino probably got away with a slap on the wrist right there. Nobody happy here down the stretch. And the fans were ready to... Nobody happy here down the stretch. And the fans were ready to erupt if Ledbetter had connect on another 3. Trawick slipped. That's a walk. 2 national championship a year ago. Fingerose with you here inside the H-E-B Center at Cedar Park. Ledbetter. Saved by Archidiakono. 7 to shoot. Walele will be the man who pulls the trigger off the mark with 3 to shoot. Walele will be the man who pulls the trigger off the mark with 3 to go. This is an 11-point ball game at the half as well as at the start of this quarter. 11-point discrepancy on the scoreboard as Benson adds 2 more. Two more. .26 points for Benson is your game high. Spurs are led by Johnson with 23. Ledbetter off the bench has 23 as well. Beasley, by the way, is still 2 rebounds shy of a double-double. That one goes to his teammate Drew. This ball game still up for grabs, although the Skyforce have not trailed since taking a 2-0 advantage near the start of the ball game. This hesitation. Drew the look. Guarino the rebound. This hesitation. Drew the look. Guarino the rebound. Spurs will settle down here with 13 still to go on the shot clock. Guarino forcing the issue, goes to the free throw line. And what will prove to be their D-League finale before they hope to have a successful NBA playoffs run. Oh, borderline stiff arm from Drew. Collected. And Benson able to cover a lot of ground along that baseline. Arcidiacono straight away. And Spurs, 25 wins, 24 losses, have won 6 of their last 7. Looking for a 3rd consecutive winning season. The last 2 years they had at least 30 wins. To be one of the top teams in the West and to win the division. It was an expanded division this year, adding teams like Sioux Falls, going from 3 divisions down to 2 in each conference. And Garcia. 10 points for Chuck. That's the second player off the Spurs bench to have 10 points or more. Loudest chant tonight from the fans, defense. Tank. Only Malik Beasley will be able to know for sure that he has a season after today. Know for sure that he has a season after today. Transition out to Miller. And disposed and fired the 3. 15-point ball game. Inside of 5 to go. Thompson unable to answer. Orlando Johnson will come back in for fellow starter Hollis Thompson. A couple of late acquisitions this year. But it does remain Sioux Falls basketball. Open look. Those seem to go home. Larry Drew with his second 3. And quick hands 3. And quick hands that time from Benson. No look. Trawick is fouled. 4 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. See if the Spurs have anything left in the tank for one more push. Anything left in the tank for one more push. And turnovers have been one part of this ball. And turnovers have been one part of this ball game where there's been a decisive advantage for Sioux Falls. As I say that, of course, Ledbetter gets it right back. Handoff. Arcidiacono almost gives it back over. Shot clock down to 10. Garcia with 3 white shirts around him and cannot get that over. Shot clock down to 10. Garcia with 3 white shirts around him and cannot get that ball to drop through. Nobody picks up Drew. Nobody picks up Drew. Arcidiacono with the rebound. Don Charles was expecting more resistance. Garcia, the spin, denied. Free. Eight to shoot, no hurry. They're looking for a 8 to shoot, no hurry. They're looking for a 20-point lead. They'll have to wait. Ryan fires one to Jeff. Ledbetter with another in style. 26 points off of the bench for the man who had to pay the fee to try out. That is the fourth three-pointer for Ledbetter and unable to beat the shot clock. That is the fourth three-pointer for Ledbetter and unable to beat the shot clock. I don't know if that hit the rim. Ledbetter has options. He'll go to Johnson. Goes straight to the rim and the left-handed finish off the glass. Charge from Austin inside of 2 minutes, back within 13. A little 6-0 run for the again, at last check, Skyforce had just 7. Alexi Wanmini back on. Again, his second game this year. And they'll say that was the best record in the D-League this year, belonging to that one team north of the border, as Raptors 905. Arcidiacono is fouled. Chance. Reduces the chance of a turnover in the backcourt. Quality look. There were still 20 seconds on the shot clock, but Posley liked what he had in front of him. 6 points now to double his total on the day. Ledbetter, quick release, does not have time on his look out of that right hand. 29 points for Jeff Ledbetter today. And now they'll slow it down, take it inside of a minute. Posley, deja vu. Breathe a little easier. A 14-point lead in less than a minute to go. Spurs need some quick shots. Ledbetter off the mark this time. Spurs need some quick shots. Ledbetter off the mark this time. Looking to surpass 30 points for the ballgame. And let's see if the Spurs go ahead and back off. Can't dribble out the clock. You see the difference in the two clocks. And Miller will pick up the whistle on Jean Charles. Free throws, which had already been locked up before today. So your 2016 D-League champions will have a slightly longer off season.